Alright, this is your typography project with the words inside the face. Go to Photoshop, go to File and New. I'm just going to move this down a little bit. Go to File and New. Inside File and New, it's going to be the same size as your first project. 11 by 17. 225 for the resolution, RGB for color mode, and we'll make the background white and then hit OK. Once you've done that, you're going to go online and you're going to find a picture for this project. When you go online, try and go to a Google type of site. Google seems to work best for this project. I want you to pick an animal or a movie. So I'll pick, in this case, just an animal to use. I'm going to choose a lion. If you have something else you'd like to use, come see me. Click on Images. Go to Search Tools at the top. Click on Search Tools. Once you click on Search Tools, go to Size. Larger than, and I'd say anything larger than 1024 by 768 or even 2 megapixel, and you'll see it'll completely change. And then from the options you have, select one of them. I'm going to select this one for now here. And I'm going to click View Image. Hopefully it gives me the large version of that. It's bringing me to a different site right now, of course. I'm going to try another one real quick. Alright, we'll try this one right here. Okay, once the large version comes up, all you have to do is click, hold, drag, and drop it into your white document that you just created. Mine's going to take a second because it's so large. There we go. Now I'm going to minimize Safari, go back into Photoshop here, and I'm going to do Essentials and click it again so everything's back where it should be. I'm going to grab my Move tool, move the image. I'm going to go to Edit, Free Transform or Command T. Then you're going to enlarge by holding Shift and pulling from the corner. Alright, right about there looks good. And I'm going to hit the checkbox up top or hit Enter on my keyboard. Now if you'll notice there's a lot of white space here just because of the particular picture that I chose. You could then take the Crop tool or the letter C on your keyboard, click, drag across till you get to this edge, and then just hit the checkbox up top or hit Enter on your keyboard and it will crop the image. From there, I'm going to pull over my layers so you can see a little better. What I want you to do is take that layer 1, that original picture of the whatever it is, the animal or the movie, take it, copy it, drag it and drop it to the new layer button. Once you've done that, click back on the original, which was layer 1, hide it. I'm sorry, before you hide it, lock it and then hide it because we might need it later. Then this new one, layer 1 copy, what we're going to do is two things. First, we are going to go to Image, Adjustments, and Threshold, which is going to turn it completely black and white. And once this happens, the threshold slider comes up right here. You're going to then move the threshold slider. You see if I go too far to the right, I get too much black. Too far to the left, too much white. So somewhere in between where it still looks like what you want it to look like. That looks about good there. I'm going to click OK. It all depends on your picture. You might try this with one picture, not like it, and have to choose a new picture. Go to Filter after that, Artistic, and Cutout. Now once this pops up, it's just going to simplify the black shapes that were created with the threshold real quick. Alright, I'm just going to zoom out a little so you can see better. Got it? So it just simplifies the shapes. It's instead of having, this is what it was like before, and then if we simplify it, it'll have more of a kind of cut up look to it. And you can mess with the number of levels, the edge simplicity, and the edge fidelity on the right hand side. Number of levels, the less levels you have, the more cut up it's going to appear. The more levels you have, the more like your image that you started with that it's going to be. Now I'm going to click OK to this. So you see what's happened? It's applied the filter to it. Now what you have to do is put your letters inside the black areas. So I'm going to do Command 0 so we see this larger on the screen right now. I'm going to move the layers over. You're going to go over to your text tool on your toolbar, or you can hit the letter T on your keyboard. Now once you got the text tool and it loads, there's a bunch of fonts, so it might take a little time to load. Okay, once it loads, I would choose a color from the top here that is light so you can see. You can start off with a turquoise or a yellow or an orange, something you'll be able to see, and then you can always change it later. And I always start with a size that's about 48 to 60, let's say. All you have to do is click once on your screen, you'll see a blinking cursor, and you start to type in what you want. I'm going to type in an L for lion. When I type in it, I can click and drag over it to highlight it, go up to the top corner here, and then select a different font, whatever font I would like to have. Now there's that L. Good. Now from there I'm going to check the checkbox to OK it. I'm going to go over to the layer, right click on it, and rasterize. This is a very important part. If you rasterize it, you'll see the T goes away from the layer, but then I have a lot of different choices I can make by using Edit and Free Transform, or Command T. Little box pops up, a bounding box around it. You can pull and drag. I'm going to zoom in so you can see a little bit better here. You can pull and drag from the corner. You can go off to the corner, click and rotate. You can right click on the inside of this and do any of these distortions, perspective, warps. Distort, for example, will allow you to pull and stretch. Right click, if you warp it, you'll be able to pull from all of these different angles and from these individual handlebars that come off the corner so that you can manipulate the word and make it fit right into the black area as much as you'd like. Now you can do a whole word, a whole sentence, or one letter at a time like I've done here. I'm going to hit the checkbox or hit enter on my keyboard to OK this. Now at this point I've done one letter on one layer. I'm going to zoom out a little bit so you can see a little bit better. Now from there I could take that first top layer that I just did, drag it to the new layer button to copy it, or hit Command J on the keyboard will do the same thing. So now I have two. Still looks like there's one because they're right on top of each other, but if I take the move tool and move, now you see I have two of the same thing. Now I could keep it the same size, or I could simply go to Edit, Free Transform, and change it a little bit, resize it a little bit, rotate it a little bit. You kind of get the idea as I work through it here. You can really change the way that that one looks by just copying and then doing Command T to change it up. You can overlap letters, you can find little letters to fit inside of other letters, but your whole idea is that you are trying to fill in the black areas as best you can. When you're done, you can merge layers by holding the Command key and clicking the layers that you have, and then right-clicking and saying Merge Layers. And at the very end of the project, come see me and I will help you with the very end of the project.